Thank you so much for agreeing to be interviewed.
Oh, no, I'm happy to help.
Okay, so first, tell me about yourself. What do you do?
Okay, so I'm Michelle Matlack, and I am wearing two roles, or two hats now. I am a product manager for data products, and I am also the director of quality assurance here at WealthEngine.
Got it.
And we're a SaaS DaaS firm, and so I wallow in data every single day.
Great. So what's one moment that actually inspired you or got you to get into STEM?
Well, I was always called like one of the smart kids, and I was kind of geeky, and I was really, really good at math. And so I had all female math teachers in high school, which looking back now, I guess, that was, one of the first things. It's like girls can be smart too. And when I went to college, I was thinking about going to med school. So I took all the math courses I could take, and I started taking a bunch of science courses, and then I hit something called organic chemistry, which I wasn't very good at. So that meant med school wasn't an option, so I continued with my math degree, so my undergraduate's in mathematics, and towards the, I guess it was my junior year, I needed to find an on-campus job, and I had some friends, because, I hung out with the geeky people, and they had jobs at the computer center on campus, and I got a job there, and it turns out I kind of was good at this stuff. And then later, I graduated, and I thought I might be a teacher, but I realized I would probably be burned out within a very few years, and it just probably wasn't my long-term calling. And so I was dating a guy who gave my resume to his company, and they interviewed me, and they hired me, and I stayed there 9 years. And again, I was a math major. I didn't take a lot of computer courses in my college program, but I know how to think and I know how to solve problems. And so when you're put into a sysadmin role, which is what I was hired to be, that's what it's all about, is problem solving. So over the years, I picked up a variety of programming languages, a variety of database systems. We're now living in the cloud and big data architectures. So I'm learning really brand new technologies, which is really fun, because when I first started my career 100 years ago, we didn't even have relational databases, right? So, again, there's been several paradigm shifts in the way that we store data through the years, and I get to be a part of all of those.
That's really amazing. So what's one accomplishment that you're extremely proud of?
The last time I looked for a job was in 1999. 1999, I got a job with Verizon as a technical manager, managing a tier 3 support staff. I had like 20 people working for me. But every position since then was created for me.
That's really cool.
Right. So someone come tap me on the shoulder and say, "Hey, Michelle, we have this problem we need to solve," right? And so here's a tech team. Go work on this. Here's this discovery data team you're going to run. Go work on this. So even when I left Verizon, I went to another SaaS firm. Again, I called up someone I used to work for. I say, "Hey, I'm kind of looking for a job." He's like, "Hey, I need someone just like you. Let me make you a job." Same thing when I moved here. It's like, "Hey, Mike, I'm looking for a new job," and he's like, "Oh, we need you." "Hey, Natasha, you need to make this person a job." So that's the thing too. I think that's a huge accomplishment, just to it's sort of these stepping stones and happy circumstances. But I haven't had the job hunt, like I said, since 1999.
That's really good and convenient.
Yes. But I think the takeaway from that is who you know is just as important as what you know.
Yeah. Exactly. So what's one challenge that you've had to face?
Well, early in my career, I was frequently the only woman on the team. And that can feel a little isolating at times. But I never thought of myself as less than the guys, and I was always good about my elbows are on the table and leaning into the conversations and making sure I was heard. And again, I was that awful kid in classes that always raised my hand first, and I was never been shy about making sure I was heard. But yeah, there's certainly been times that I was the only woman on the team, and it felt a little weird. But I was also fortunate. Typically, IT guys have not been discriminatory about that. there's a certain amount of humor, but you know, nobody's been out and out offensive or out and out disrespectful or anything like that. So
that's good. So again, my next question was going to be, have you seen gender disparity? So of course
I have, and I know there were plenty of times that I made less than my peers. But I've become much better about asking for what I feel I deserve salary-wise. And I know here I'm paid comparable to any man in a similar position.
That's good.
And so again, that's another takeaway is there have been some interesting studies about women asking for raises or even asking for your first salary. And we tend to be passive, and whatever's offered we take, while men are much more likely to protest and say, no, I want this much. We need to be more like them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. So what's one hobby that you do outside of your job?
Okay, so I've got two. One is I have my own blog because I love to cook and I love to develop cocktails. I'm sorry, I know this is high school, but that's something you get to do as an adult. And so it's gone a little dark recently, but it's fun to write creatively and to create and then write about what I was doing. And then I'm also really active with a rescue group. So my husband and I foster dogs. I have 2 at home looking for a new home right now.
Shameless plug.
Right. And Homeward Trails Animal Rescue, you can find them on the web. And so like yesterday, I did a freedom ride. So I drove our big giant van down to Southwest Virginia, and I brought back over 50 animals who were destined for euthanasia in rural shelters, and brought them back up here for our rescue, as well as 3 others, so that these otherwise perfectly adoptable dogs and cats will find homes up here.
That's really inspiring.
Right, and that has nothing to do with computers.
So lastly, what advice would you like to give to the young girls who want to get into STEM?
Take every math class that you can take, and take every science class that you can take. Whether it's chemistry, physics, biology, geology, take every single math class you can take through high school. Taking calculus at the high school level just gets you such a better start when you get to college. And if you're not, take whatever computer science courses you can take, both at the high school level and at the college level. It all just helps broaden your mind to any of the STEM careers. I've got enough math under my belt, I could have gone down a statistics path, right? I've got enough math under my belt, I could have gone down an engineering path. So having good, solid science coursework under your belt just opens everything up to you career-wise. So.
That's amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.